The knock came at 1:17 a.m. Grace opened the door. Vivian stood there crying. My daughter is dying. Vivian's mascara ran black down her cheeks. Lily, 16 years old. Leukemia. She needs bone marrow. You're the only match. Grace stared at her. This woman who slept with Marcus in their bed. Who raised Emmanuel? Who took everything? Get off my property. Grace, please, I said, get off my property. Vivian shoved her hand in the closing door. 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes. Grace stopped. Not because she cared. Because she wanted to watch this woman beg. 2 minutes. Lily has maybe 6 weeks without a transplant. Every day we wait she gets weaker. We tested everyone. Marcus, Emmanuel, Sophie, extended family. Nobody matches. Then they found you in the extended registry. 10 out of 10 match. Perfect match. Vivian's voice cracked. Please. She's just a child. Emmanuel was 3. I know what I did was you don't know anything. Grace leaned forward. You destroyed his home. You turned him against me. And now you want me to save your daughter, the daughter you had with my husband. I'm sorry. Grace laughed. Cold and sharp. When did you become sorry? When your daughter got sick, or 18 years ago when you were fucking Marcus on my couch? Vivian flinched hard. I was wrong. I was young and stupid, but you married him anyway. Had 2 more kids. Lived in your nice house with your nice life. Grace's voice dropped lower. All that regret must have been really hard for you. Grace, please. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm asking you to save an innocent girl. Why should I? Vivian opened her mouth. Closed it. Because you're a nurse. You took an oath. I took marriage vows. Didn't stop you. Before this goes any further, I need you to do something. Hit subscribe. Because this story is about to get a lot worse before it gets better. And comment below what city you're watching from. I want to know how far this travels. Because what I'm about to tell you, it happens everywhere. In every city. Behind every door. Women like Grace carrying wounds that never close. Now let me tell you what happened next. Grace didn't close the door. She stood there looking at Vivian, and something shifted. Tell me something. Grace's voice went quiet. Dangerous quiet. Did you love him? What, Marcus? Did you love him, or was it just fun stealing another woman's husband? I loved him. I did. And now Vivian looked down. I don't know. Grace almost smiled. That's what I thought. Grace, I loved him. Really loved him. He was the first person in this country who saw me as human. Not a maid. Not an immigrant. Just Grace. She paused. And I believed in him. Worked myself to death for him. I know you did, Vivian whispered. No. You don't. You came from money. I can tell. The way you dress. The way you talk. You probably went to college without working 3 jobs. Probably had parents who helped with rent. Grace's voice hardened. I came here with $47. $47 and a promise to my family that I'd make it. Vivian said nothing. Marcus was supposed to be my partner. But somewhere along the way he decided I wasn't enough. Or maybe I was too much. Too tired. Too busy. Too black. Too immigrant. Too everything he didn't want. He never said it was about race, of course he didn't. Grace's laugh came out bitter. He told you it was about me not being there. Me working too much. Me not paying attention to him. Right? Vivian's silence answered everything. Let me tell you what he didn't tell you. Grace leaned in closer. He stopped paying bills. I covered his share. He dropped out of his paramedic program because he couldn't handle studying. I helped him every night even though I was exhausted. When Emmanuel got pneumonia and I had to take time off, Marcus disappeared for 3 days. Just vanished. Left me alone with a dying toddler and no money for medicine. Did he mention any of that number? Vivian's voice barely audible. Because the story works better if I'm the villain. The cold wife who cared more about work than family. That's the story he sold you. That's how he justified it. He said you two grew apart. We grew apart because he stopped trying. Grace's voice went cold. I was killing myself to keep us alive. He was killing time with you. Vivian's tears started fresh. If I could take it back, but you can't. And sorry doesn't give me back 18 years. Doesn't give me back my son's childhood. Grace paused. His first word to you was mama, wasn't it? Vivian went pale. Grace, don't lie. Not now. He was 4. At the park. He called me Mama, and Marcus and we looked at each other and we knew we should correct him, but we didn't. We just let it happen. Something cracked in Grace's chest. Hearing it confirmed after all these years still cut deep. Get out. Grace, please, I'm done. Leave. What about Lily? What about her? Will you help her? Grace looked at Vivian. Really looked. This woman who had everything Grace was supposed to have. Built on Grace's sacrifice. No. You can't mean that. I mean exactly that. She's Marcus's daughter. Emmanuel's sister. She's your daughter. Why would I save her? Vivian's face changed. Desperate to something harder. Because you're supposed to be better than me. Saint Grace, who sacrificed so much. Don't you want to prove them right? Grace felt rage bloom hot. Don't you dare. Don't you fucking dare try to manipulate me. I don't have to prove anything. Especially not to you. Then do it for Emmanuel. Emmanuel made his choice 18 years ago. He was a child and I was his mother, and he hated me for it. Grace's voice rose. He hated me for working, for being tired, for not being you, and you loved it. You loved that he preferred you. That's not fair. You want to talk about fair? Grace was shouting now. I came to this country for a better life and it destroyed me. I married a man I loved and he betrayed me. I raised a son who grew up resenting me. And now you're on my doorstep asking me to save the child you made in the ruins of my marriage. Where's the fairness? She's innocent, Vivian said again. Smaller now. So was I. Vivian straightened. When she spoke her voice had gone cold. Fine. If you won't do it willingly, I'll make you. Excuse me, I'll go to the hospital board. Tell them one of their nurses refuses to save a child out of spite. See how that plays. Nurse lets teen die over old grudge. Ice in Grace's veins. You wouldn't. Watch me. You think your reputation survives, that you think you keep your job. You can't force me to donate. It's illegal. Can't force you. But I can destroy you. Just like you're destroying my daughter. There it was. The real Vivian. Not desperate mother. The woman who took what she wanted. Get out of my house. 48 hours to decide. After that I go public. Go public now. Vivian stared. You really mean it? You'd let her die? I'd let nature take its course. There's a difference. There's no difference. You have the power to save her and you're choosing not to. That's murder number. That's consequences. Something you've never faced. Vivian turned to leave. Stopped. Emmanuel will never forgive you. If Lily dies, he'll never speak to you again. He barely speaks to me now. He'll hate you forever. He's hated me for years. I've learned to live with it. Vivian walked away. Her heels clicked on concrete. Grace watched her get into a Mercedes. Nice one. Worth more than Grace made in 2 years. Watched the car pull away. Her phone rang. Emmanuel. Grace answered. Hello. Mom. His voice tight. Angry. Vivian just called me. I'm sure she did. She said you refused to help Lily. That's correct. Mom, she's 16 years old. I'm aware. She's dying. So I've been told. And you won't help. What the hell is wrong with you? Grace poured wine. Nothing's wrong with me, Emmanuel. You're being cruel. Interesting word. What else would you call it? Self-preservation. Justice. Take your pick. This isn't justice, this is revenge maybe. The wine burned. Does that make it wrong? Yes, of course it does. She's innocent, so were you. So was I. Innocence doesn't seem to matter much. I can't believe you're like this. Can't you really? Grace's voice dropped. After everything they took from me, from us, you can't believe I might not jump to save their daughter, our daughter. She's my sister. Half-sister. There's a difference. Not to me. Of course not. You grew up with her. You love her. But I don't know her. I've never met her. She's nothing to me except the child of the woman who destroyed my life. This is insane. You're a nurse. You save lives. I save lives I'm paid to save. This is different. How? Because this costs me something. Requires me to give a part of myself to people who took everything and never looked back. Grace's voice cracked. And I'm tired, Emmanuel. So tired of giving. Heavy breathing on the other end. If you don't do this, Emmanuel said finally, I'll never forgive you. You already haven't. I mean it. I'll never speak to you again. You barely speak to me now. You call twice a year. My birthday and Christmas. And even then it's obligation. So forgive me if your threat doesn't carry weight. Mom, when was the last time you visited me? Emmanuel really visited, not just stopped by for 10 minutes. Silence. That's what I thought. You know your last words to me 3 months ago. My birthday. You sighed happy birthday mom, sorry I can't talk long, I'm at Vivian's for dinner. At Vivian's. The woman who destroyed our family. You were at her house while you rushed me off the phone. She raised me, I raised you. I gave birth to you, I bled for you, worked myself into the ground for you, Grace was shouting. The wine glass shook in her hand. And you repaid me by loving her more than you ever loved me, she stopped. Breathing hard. I didn't choose this, Emmanuel said quietly. I was 3 years old. I know. But you chose later. Every time you called her instead of me. Every time you spent holidays with them. Every time you introduced her as your other mom, and me as just me mom. You chose. And now you're choosing again. Can't or won't, what can't save her or won't, because if you can't, if it's too painful, I get it. But if you just won't, if you're doing this to punish them, then you're not who I thought you were. Grace laughed. Hollow and broken. Emmanuel, the first stopped being that person when I came home to find your father fucking another woman on our couch. I stopped being that person when I had to choose between feeding you and sending money to keep my mother alive in Haiti. I stopped being that person when you looked at me with hate and told me you wished Vivian was your real mother. That person died. Long time ago. And I don't have the energy to resurrect her just to make you feel better. Then we're done here. I guess we are. Goodbye, Mom. The line went dead. Grace stood holding the phone. Silence pressed in. She finished her wine and poured another. The box on the top shelf called to her. Photos. Wedding day. Emmanuel as a baby. Her mother's last letter from Haiti that arrived 2 days after she died. 2 days after Grace had been too broke to fly home. She looked at these ghosts and felt nothing. Just emptiness where pain used to be. Her phone rang again. Unknown number. Grace Marcus. She hadn't heard his voice in years. Older now. Rougher. Vivian told me. I'm calling to ask you to reconsider. No. Grace, please. I'm begging you. I know I don't deserve anything from you. I know what I did was unforgivable. But Lily, she's innocent. She doesn't deserve to die because of my mistakes. Mistakes. Grace tasted the word. Is that what you call them? What else? Choices. Deliberate choices. You chose to cheat. Chose to leave. Chose to start a new family and forget the old one. Those weren't mistakes. Those were decisions. You're right. Absolutely right. I chose wrong. I was selfish and stupid, and I hurt you in ways I can never make up for. But don't punish Lily for that. Neither had Emmanuel. He was 3 when you destroyed his family. How's he doing, by the way? He's good. Doing good. Happy, I think so. Did you ever pay child support? Silence. That's what I thought. You built your life with Vivian while I scraped by to raise your son. And now you want me to save your daughter. The daughter you actually bothered being a father to. Grace, I was a terrible husband. Terrible father to Emmanuel. I know that. I live with that guilt every day. But I've tried to be better with my girls. Tried to learn from my mistakes. How nice for them. What do you want? Tell me and I'll do it. Money, I'll pay you. Anything. I don't want your money. Then what will it take? Grace stopped. What did she want? An apology? She'd gotten those. Justice? There was no such thing. I want the truth, she said finally. Just once. The truth. About what? Why? Why her? What did Vivian have that I didn't? Long silence. When Marcus spoke, his voice barely a whisper. Time. She had time. Time to talk, time to laugh, time to just be. You were always working, always stressed, always exhausted. And I know that was my fault too. I should have done more, but I was drowning, Grace. Failing at everything, and I couldn't stand you looking at me like I was another burden. Then Vivian, she looked at me like I mattered. Like I was more than a paycheck I couldn't even provide. I know it's selfish. Pathetic. But that's the truth. So you left me because I worked too hard to support us. I left because I was a coward who couldn't face my own failures. Took it out on you. And I'm sorry. So fucking sorry, Grace. Are you really, or just sorry now because you need something? Both. Can't it be both? Number. Grace, please. I'm begging. Not for me. For Lily. She's 16 and she wants to live. Wants to go to college. Fall in love. All the things every kid wants. Don't take that away. I'm not taking anything. Just not giving. There's a difference. Is there? Yes. Then you're better than me. Because I don't see it. That's because you've never been on this side. Never had to watch someone else living your life while you disappear. Never had to sacrifice everything and get nothing back. Never had to be invisible while the person who betrayed you gets celebrated. So that's it, you're letting her die. I'm thinking about it. That's all I can promise. How long? As long as I need. She doesn't have long, Grace. Weeks. Maybe days. Then you better hope I think fast. She hung up, turned off her phone. But here's what Grace didn't know yet. What nobody knew. Because the next morning something would happen that would change everything. Something that would force Grace to face not just Vivian and Marcus and Emmanuel but herself. The woman she'd become. The woman she'd had to become to survive. And the question she'd been avoiding for 18 years: when you lose everything, when they take it all and leave you with nothing, when you finally get the chance to say no, to take back just one piece of power, are you the hero or the villain? Grace sat in darkness thinking about a 16-year-old girl she'd never met. Dying in a hospital bed. Waiting for a miracle. And Grace wondered when exactly she'd become the kind of person who could watch a child die just to prove a point. Or if she'd always been that person and just never had the chance to find out. The wine bottle was empty. The night stretched long. And somewhere across the city in a hospital room a girl named Lily was running out of time. But that's not the worst part. You want to know the worst part? Tomorrow morning Grace would wake up to find out that this wasn't just about saving Lily's life. It was about something much bigger. Something that would expose every lie, every betrayal, every secret that had been buried for 18 years. And it would start with a phone call Grace never expected. From someone she thought was gone forever. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Because right now at 2:43 in the morning Grace made a decision. She picked up her phone, turned it back on, and made a call that would set everything in motion. The phone rang 3 times. A woman's voice answered, groggy, confused. "Hello, it's Grace," she said. "I need you to do something for me. Something that's going to hurt a lot of people. Including me." "Grace, it's almost 3 a.m. What are you, in or out?" Silence. "Then I'm listening." "Good. Because I'm about to tell you a story about Vivian and Marcus. A story they never wanted anyone to know. A story that will destroy them. Why now? Because they came to me tonight asking for mercy. And I'm going to give it to them. Just not the kind they're expecting." "What do you need me to do?" Grace smiled. Cold and sharp. "Everything." The woman on the other end of the line was Dr. Patricia Chen. Grace's colleague at the hospital for 12 years. More than that. The only person Grace trusted. "You want me to pull Vivian's employment records?" Patricia's voice sharpened. "Grace, that's grounds for termination. For both of us. I know what I'm asking." "Why? What are you looking for? Proof that she got Marcus his job at the hospital. That she used her position to manipulate the hiring process. That everything they built was corruption from the start." Patricia went quiet. "Then you're going scorched earth. They came to my house begging. After 18 years. Not to apologize. Not to make amends. To ask me to save their daughter. And when I said no, Vivian threatened to destroy my career. She actually said that word for word. She'll go to the hospital board. Tell them I'm refusing to donate out of spite. Make me look like a monster. So I'm going first." "Grace." Patricia's voice softened. "This won't bring Emmanuel back. Won't erase what they did. I know. But it'll make them feel what I felt. Powerless. Exposed. Humiliated." Grace's hand tightened on the phone. "They need to understand that mercy isn't free. That forgiveness has a price. And I'm not paying it. When do you need this?" "By morning. 7 a.m. Before Vivian can make her move. That's 4 hours from now. Can you do it or not?" Long pause. "I'm in. But Grace, once we start this there's no going back." "Good. Because I'm done going back." She hung up. But her hands wouldn't stop shaking. The wine was gone. The apartment felt too small. Too quiet. She thought about calling Emmanuel back. Thought about trying to explain. But what would she say? That she was choosing revenge over his sister's life, that she'd become exactly what they always accused her of being: cold. Unforgiving. More concerned with being right than being good. Her phone buzzed. Text message. Unknown number. "This is Lily. Emmanuel gave me your number. Please don't delete this. Just read it." Grace stared at the screen. Lily. The girl she'd never met. The girl who was dying. Her finger hovered over the delete button. Another message came through. I know what my mom did to you. Emmanuel told me everything. About how she took your husband. How you lost your son because of her. How you had to work 3 jobs while she got to be his mom. Grace's breath caught. I know you have every right to hate us. To hate me. I'm the living proof of what she did to you. Every time you see me, you see the affair that destroyed your marriage. I get it. Another message. But I'm scared. I'm so scared. The doctors say I have maybe 4 weeks. Maybe less. And I'm not ready to die. I just turned 16. I haven't even gotten my driver's license. I haven't been to prom. I haven't fallen in love. I haven't done anything yet. Grace's hands trembled harder. My mom says you're a good person. That you worked so hard for your family. That you sacrificed everything. She says you're the strongest woman she's ever known. I believe her. Because only a strong person could survive what you survived. The next message took longer to come through. I'm not asking you to forgive my mom. I'm not even asking you to do this for me. I'm asking you to do it because you can. Because you have the power to save a life, and that's got to mean something. Right. Grace threw the phone across the room. It hit the wall. Didn't break. Just clattered to the floor. She wanted to scream. Wanted to cry. Wanted to feel something other than this hollow rage that had lived in her chest for 18 years. But she couldn't. The tears wouldn't come. They dried up somewhere between Emmanuel's 10th birthday, when he'd asked why she couldn't be more like Vivian, and his high school graduation, when he'd thanked everyone but her. Her phone rang. Not the cell phone across the room. The landline. The one only 3 people had the number to. She picked up. Grace, a man's voice. Not Marcus. Older. Haitian accent thick as syrup. It's Father Michel. Grace's blood went cold. Father Michel from the church she'd stopped attending 15 years ago. The church that had helped her when she first came to America. The church where she'd married Marcus. How did you get this number, Emmanuel? He called me tonight. Very upset. He told me about Lily. About your refusal to help. Grace, I'm calling as your priest. As someone who knew you when you first came here. Young. Full of hope. What happened to that girl? She died. Marcus killed her. Vivian buried her. And Emmanuel danced on her grave. That's not true. That's pain talking. Pain is all I have left, Father. Don't take that too. I'm not trying to take anything. I'm trying to give you something back. Peace. Forgiveness. Redemption. Grace laughed. Harsh and bitter. I don't want redemption. I want justice. Justice or revenge, what's the difference? One heals. One poisons. Grace, I watched you build a life in this country from nothing. I watched you love a man who didn't deserve you. I watched you lose your son, not because you didn't love him but because you loved him too much. And now I'm watching you throw away your last chance at peace because you can't let go of the past. The past won't let go of me. Then make it. Save this girl. Not for Vivian. Not for Marcus. Not even for Emmanuel. Save her for yourself. So you can look in the mirror and know you're still the woman I married to Marcus 26 years ago. The woman who believed in second chances. That woman was a fool. That woman was brave. She still is. You don't understand. I understand everything. I've heard confessions for 40 years. Heard every sin, every betrayal, every justification. And I've learned one thing. The people who can't forgive aren't punishing the ones who hurt them. They're punishing themselves. Grace's voice went dead quiet. If I save her, what do I get? What's my reward? Emmanuel still won't call. Marcus still won't care. Vivian still won't apologize. Nothing changes. You change. That's the reward. I don't want to change. I like who I've become. Hard. Unbreakable. Immune to their bullshit. You're not unbreakable, Grace. You're broken. And you're so tired of holding the pieces together that you'd rather let them fall than do the work of healing. This conversation is over. Wait. One more thing. Lily asked me to pray for her. You know what she prayed for? I don't care. She prayed for you. Not for herself. For you. She prayed that you'd find peace. That you'd find forgiveness. That you'd find a way to let go of the hate that's eating you alive. Father Michel's voice cracked. That child is dying and she's praying for her mother's victim. What does that tell you? Grace hung up. Her hands were shaking so hard she could barely hold the phone. She walked to where her cell phone had landed. Picked it up. Read Lily's messages again. Another text came through. I know you're reading these. Emmanuel told me you always read everything even if you don't respond. So I'm going to keep talking. My mom says you're scary smart. That you became a nurse even though you barely spoke English. That you passed your boards on the first try when most people fail twice. She says you're the best nurse in the hospital. Everyone says that. Grace felt something twist in her chest. I want to be a nurse too. When I grow up. If I grow up. I want to help people like you help people. My mom says you saved a man's life last year. He was coding and everyone else panicked, but you stayed calm. You did compressions for 20 minutes until he came back. 20 minutes. Most people give up after 5. But not you. Another message. That's the kind of person I want to be. Strong. Unbreakable. Someone who doesn't give up even when it's hopeless. Like you. Grace's vision blurred. No. Not tears. She didn't cry anymore. Hadn't cried in years. But her eyes were burning and her throat was tight and something hot was running down her face. I'm sorry my mom hurt you. I'm sorry my dad hurt you. I'm sorry Emmanuel hurt you. I'm sorry you had to work so hard for people who didn't appreciate it. I'm sorry this country wasn't what you thought it would be. I'm sorry for all of it. Grace's phone slipped from her hands. She caught it. Barely. But if you let me die to punish them, you're not punishing them. You're punishing me. And I've never done anything to you except exist. Is that enough? Is being born to the wrong parents enough reason to die? Grace typed back before she could stop herself. Why are you texting me? Why aren't you sleeping? The response came fast. Can't sleep. Too scared. Too much pain. The morphine makes me confused. Sometimes I forget where I am. Sometimes I think I'm at home. Then I remember I'm in the hospital dying. How much pain? 11 out of 10. But the nurses can't give me more medication for another 2 hours. Grace looked at the clock. 4:37 a.m. Which nurse is on duty? Cheryl. The blonde one. She's nice but she won't break protocol. Grace knew Cheryl. Followed rules to the letter. Good nurse. No flexibility. I'll call the floor. Tell them to give you breakthrough pain meds. You'd do that. I'm still a nurse. Pain management is basic care. Thank you. Don't thank me. I'm not doing it because I like you. I'm doing it because you're in pain and I can fix it. I know. But thank you anyway. Grace called the oncology floor. Spoke to the charge nurse. Gave orders for Lily's pain management. Pulled rank. Used her 12 years of seniority to override protocol. Hung up. Her phone buzzed again. The nurse just came in. She's giving me the meds now. She said you called. She said you never call about patients unless it's life or death. She thinks you're amazing. Grace didn't respond. Why did you do that? If you hate me, if you want me to suffer, why help with the pain? Grace stared at the question. Why had she done it? Because Lily was 16 and scared and in pain, because no child deserved to hurt like that regardless of who their parents were, or because somewhere deep down in the part of herself she'd buried 18 years ago Grace was still the woman who became a nurse to help people? She typed, go to sleep. Will you think about it? The bone marrow. Go to sleep, Lily. Please. I'm begging you. I don't want to die. Grace's phone rang. Emmanuel again. She answered. Lily just texted me. His voice was different now. Softer. She said you helped with her pain. That you called the floor and got her medication. It's my job. No. It's not. You didn't have to do that. Especially not at 4 in the morning. She was suffering. I fixed it. That's what nurses do. Mom. Emmanuel's voice broke. Thank you. Grace closed her eyes. Don't. I mean it. Thank you. That meant everything to her. To me. It doesn't change anything. I know. But it's something. It's more than I thought you'd do. I'm hanging up now. Wait. Can I ask you something? What? Do you remember when I was 8 I fell off my bike? Split my head open. Marcus was at work and Vivian was at some event. You were sleeping after a double shift. But you drove me to the hospital. Stayed with me the whole time. Held my hand while they stitched me up. 17 stitches. I was so scared. But you kept telling me stories. About Haiti. About your childhood. About grandmother. You made me laugh even though I was bleeding. Grace remembered. How could she forget? She'd been so exhausted she'd almost crashed the car. But Emmanuel had been crying and bleeding and needed her. You sang to me, Emmanuel continued. That Haitian song. I don't remember the words. But I remember the melody. And I remember feeling safe. Because you were there. Why are you telling me this? Because I want you to know I do remember. I remember the good parts. Not just the bad. I remember you packing my lunches. Reading to me at night when you were too tired to stand. Teaching me to ride a bike. Coming to my soccer games when you had to wake up at 4 a.m. the next day. I remember all of it. Grace's throat went tight. Then why did you choose them? I didn't choose them. I chose stability. I chose the parent who was there. Not because I loved you less. Because I was a kid and I needed someone present. And I'm sorry that person wasn't you. I'm sorry you had to work so hard that you couldn't be. I'm sorry I didn't understand until now what you sacrificed. Understanding doesn't change the past. No. But maybe it changes the future. Maybe we can start over. If you give us a chance. By saving Lily. By showing me the woman you were when I was 8. The one who drove me to the hospital half dead from exhaustion because I needed her. The one who held my hand through the scary parts. Be that woman again, Mom. Please. Grace hung up. She couldn't do this. Couldn't listen to a manual rewrite history. Make her the hero in a story where she'd always been the villain. She'd lost. Vivian had won. Marcus had moved on. Emmanuel had grown up loving someone else. Those were facts. No amount of nostalgia or sentimentality changed them. Her phone buzzed. Text from Patricia. Found something. Vivian's employment records. The dates don't match. She was hired 3 months before Marcus started his affair. But she requested his transfer to her department 2 weeks after they met. She engineered the whole thing. Put him on her team so she'd have access. Grace's hands went cold. Are you sure? Positive. I have the transfer request. She claimed it was for operational efficiency. But there's an email chain. She told her supervisor Marcus had specific skills. Skills he didn't have. She lied to get him on her team. Send me everything. Grace. What are you going to do with this? What I should have done 18 years ago. Fight back. Another text from Patricia. There's more. Marcus's employment records show disciplinary actions. 3 write-ups for attendance. 2 for performance. All erased from his file 6 months after he and Vivian got together. Someone with senior access deleted them. Vivian. Had to be. She's the only one with that level of access who'd have reason to protect him. She cleaned his record. Kept him employed when he should have been fired. Everything he has she gave him. And everything she gave him she took from you. Grace felt something cold and hard settle in her chest. This was it. The proof. The evidence that their entire relationship was built on corruption and manipulation. Vivian hadn't just stolen Marcus. She'd orchestrated it. Planned it. Used her position to create opportunities. Used her power to protect him. All while Grace worked herself to death trying to keep her family afloat. But here's what Grace didn't realize yet. This information, this proof of Vivian's corruption, it was about to cost her something too. Because in 36 hours someone else would find out about Patricia's late-night records access. Someone who'd been watching the system logs. Someone who'd been waiting for Grace to make a mistake. And that person was about to turn this whole situation into something much worse than Grace ever imagined. Her phone rang. Unknown number again. She answered without thinking. Grace, a woman's voice. Young. Scared. It's Sophie. Lily's sister. Grace froze. Sophie. The other daughter. The one she'd never thought about. Never considered. I know you don't know me. But I'm calling because Lily can't stop crying. She's in so much pain and she's so scared and she keeps saying your name. Keeps saying she's sorry. That she shouldn't have texted you. That she made everything worse. Sophie, please just listen. I'm 13 years old. Lily's my big sister. She's my best friend. She taught me to ride a bike. She helps me with math homework. She protects me from bullies at school. And now she's dying and there's nothing I can do. Nothing except call you and beg you to help her. You don't understand the situation. I understand that my mom did something terrible to you. That she took your husband and your son and your whole life. I understand that you hate her. You should hate her. But Lily didn't do any of that. I didn't do any of that. We're just kids who got born into a messed up situation. Grace's voice came out harder than she meant. You're the children Vivian had with my husband. How am I supposed to look past that? You're not. Nobody's asking you to. We're just asking you not to let Lily die because of it. Sophie's voice broke. She's my sister. She's all I have. If she dies, I don't know what I'll do. You'll survive. People do. Is that what you did? Survived because you sound dead inside. The words hit like a slap. Grace opened her mouth. Nothing came out. I'm sorry, Sophie said quickly. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I'm just scared and I don't know what to do. Lily's the strong one. She's the one who takes care of everyone. And now she's falling apart and I don't know how to help her. Why are you really calling? Because Lily made me promise. She said if anything happens to her I have to tell you something. Something she's too scared to say herself. What she knows about you. About how hard you worked. How much you sacrificed. She says you're her hero. That she wants to be like you when she grows up. Strong. Unbreakable. Someone who survives no matter what. Sophie's voice dropped to a whisper. But she won't get to grow up unless you help her. And I know that's not fair. I know you don't owe us anything. But please, please don't let my sister die. Grace heard crying on the other end. Real crying. The kind that came from deep in the chest. The kind that only happened when you were truly terrified. Sophie, listen to me. Your sister's cancer, it's not my fault. It's not Vivian's fault. It's not anyone's fault. It's just bad luck. And sometimes bad luck wins. That's life. So you're saying no, you're really going to let her die? I'm saying I need time to think. We don't have time, the doctors said. Days, maybe a week. Then you'd better hope I think fast. Grace hung up. She was shaking again. But not from anger this time. From something else. Something that felt like guilt but couldn't be. She didn't do guilt anymore. Didn't do regret. Didn't do second thoughts. But then why couldn't she stop seeing Lily's texts? Why couldn't she stop hearing Sophie's voice breaking? Why couldn't she stop thinking about Emmanuel at 8 years old with 17 stitches in his head, holding her hand like she was the only safe thing in the world? Dawn started breaking. Light crept through the windows. Grace hadn't slept. Couldn't sleep. Her phone showed 43 missed calls. 16 text messages. All from numbers she recognized. All from people who wanted something from her. Her phone buzzed one more time. Text from Vivian. 48 hours are up tomorrow morning. I meant what I said. If you don't agree to the donation by then, I'm going to the hospital board. And I'm going to the press. And I'm going to make sure everyone knows what kind of person you really are. Grace stared at the message. Then she typed back. Do it. Go to the board. Go to the press. Tell them everything. Because I have something to tell them too. About how you manipulated Marcus's transfer. About how you deleted his disciplinary records. About how you built your entire career on corruption. Let's see who the hospital believes. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Appeared again. Finally, you're bluffing. Grace smiled. Cold and sharp. Try me. Grace's phone rang at 6:47 a.m. Hospital number. She answered. Grace, Director Morrison's voice. Cold. Formal. I need you in my office. Now. I'm not scheduled until 2. This isn't about your schedule. This is about a serious complaint filed against you. Be here in 30 minutes or I'm suspending you pending investigation. The line went dead. Grace's stomach dropped. Vivian had moved first. Faster than Grace expected. She called Patricia. Did you send the files? Not yet. You told me to wait until 7. Grace, what's wrong? Vivian went to Morrison. I've been called in. Shit. What are you going to do? Fight? Send everything to my personal email. Right now. Then delete any trace you accessed those files. Grace, if they audit the system they won't. Not if we do this right. Send it. Now. She hung up. Threw on clothes. Her hands were shaking but her mind was clear. This was war now. Real war. And Grace had been preparing for it for 18 years without knowing it. She drove to the hospital in 23 minutes. Parked in her usual spot. Walked through the doors she'd walked through thousands of times. But everything felt different now. Sharper. More dangerous. Morrison's office was on the 4th floor. Grace took the stairs. Needed the time to think. To prepare. When she opened the door to the administrative wing, Vivian was there. Standing by Morrison's door. Waiting. Grace. Vivian's voice was silk over steel. I'm glad you came. Did you really think I wouldn't? I wasn't sure. You've been making a lot of questionable decisions lately. Grace stepped closer. close enough to see the exhaustion in Vivian's eyes. The cracks in her makeup. So have you. Like threatening to destroy my career because I won't donate my bone marrow. I'm not threatening. I'm protecting my daughter. By destroying me if that's what it takes. Morrison's door opened. He was 58, gray-haired former military. No nonsense. Both of you. Inside. Now. They filed in. Morrison sat behind his desk. Didn't offer them chairs. Just looked at both of them with the expression of a man who'd seen too much hospital drama. Vivian came to me this morning with a serious allegation. He turned to Grace. She says you're refusing to donate bone marrow to a dying 16-year-old out of personal spite. That you're violating medical ethics. That your behavior is bringing shame to this hospital. Grace's voice came out steady. Is she also telling you why I'm refusing? She mentioned a past relationship with your ex-husband. A past relationship. Grace laughed once. Sharp. Is that what she's calling it? She had an affair with my husband. In my home. While I was working night shifts at this hospital. Then she used her position as administrator to get him transferred to her department. Then she married him and raised my son while I paid child support to myself because Marcus never paid a dime. Morrison's expression didn't change, but something flickered in his eyes. Vivian, is this true? The affair happened. I'm not denying that. It was wrong. But that was 18 years ago. This is about a child's life now. No. Grace's voice went hard. This is about you using your position as director of nursing to manipulate employment records. To delete Marcus's disciplinary actions. To protect him when he should have been fired. To build your relationship on corruption and then threaten me when I won't save you from the consequences. Vivian's face went white. That's a lie. Is it? Grace pulled out her phone. Showed Morrison the email Patricia had sent. These are your employment records. Your transfer requests. The deleted files. All of it. Timestamped. Documented. Proof that you abused your authority to conduct a personal relationship and cover it up. Morrison took the phone. Read slowly. His jaw tightened. Vivian, he said finally. Is this accurate? I can explain. Is it accurate? Vivian's hands clenched. Yes. But it was a long time ago. And it has nothing to do with Lily. It has everything to do with Lily. Grace's voice cut like glass. Because you're threatening to destroy my career using the same position you corrupted 18 years ago. You're proving that you haven't changed. That you're still the woman who takes what she wants and burns down anyone who gets in her way. Morrison set the phone down. Vivian, wait outside. But outside. Now. Vivian left. Grace could see her through the glass door. Pacing. Hands in her hair. Panicking. Morrison turned to Grace. Why didn't you report this 18 years ago? Because I was a janitor. She was an administrator. Who would have believed me? And now I'm a senior nurse with 12 years of excellent service. Now I have proof. Now I have a voice. This could end her career. Good. Morrison studied her. You understand that refusing to donate bone marrow is your legal right. No one can force you. No matter what Vivian threatens. The hospital will support your decision. I know. Then why are you here? Why not just let this go? Because she came to my house at 1 in the morning. Begged me. Then threatened me. Then tried to destroy me when I said no. And I'm done letting people destroy me without consequences. Morrison nodded slowly. I'm going to need to investigate this. The file manipulation. The abuse of authority. It's going to take time. How much time? Weeks. Maybe months. Lily doesn't have weeks. That's not my concern. Hospital policy is my concern. And if Vivian violated it, she'll face disciplinary action. He paused. But Grace, this revenge you're taking, it's not going to feel as good as you think. It already feels pretty good. She walked out. Vivian grabbed her arm. What did you do? Grace pulled free. What you should have expected. I fought back. You're destroying me over something that happened 2 decades ago. You're destroying yourself. I'm just holding up a mirror. My daughter is dying and that's tragic. But it's not my problem. Grace started walking away. Wait. Vivian's voice broke. Please. Wait. Grace stopped. Didn't turn around. I'll resign, Vivian said. I'll quit. I'll leave the hospital. Leave the city. Whatever you want. Just please. Save Lily. Now Grace turned. You think I want your resignation, you think I care if you leave, then what do you want? I want you to feel what I felt. Powerless. Humiliated. Watching everything you built fall apart while the person who destroyed you watches. You're going to let an innocent girl die to make me suffer. I'm going to let nature take its course. If Lily dies, it's because of cancer. Not because of me. That's a lie and you know it. You have the power to save her and you're choosing not to. That makes you responsible. Then I guess we're both killers. You killed my marriage, my relationship with my son, my sense of self, and I'm killing your peace of mind. Seems fair. Vivian's face twisted. You're a monster. No, I'm what you made me. Grace walked to the elevator. Pressed the button. Behind her she heard Vivian collapse against the wall. Heard her start crying. Real crying. The kind that came from the gut. The elevator doors opened. Emmanuel stood inside. They stared at each other. Mom. His voice was flat. Vivian called me. Said you're trying to destroy her career. She tried to destroy mine first. So this is revenge. This is justice. Lily's getting worse. She has pneumonia now. The doctors say maybe 72 hours without the transplant. Maybe less. Grace stepped into the elevator. Pressed the button for the main floor. Then you'd better start planning a funeral. Emmanuel grabbed the emergency stop button. The elevator jerked to a halt. What are you doing? Grace reached for the button. He blocked her. We're not moving until you listen to me. Emmanuel, the first don't have time for this. Lily asked to see you. She's begging to meet you before she dies. No. Mom, please. Just 5 minutes. Look her in the eye. See the girl you're condemning. Then decide. I've already decided. Then why are you shaking? Grace looked down. Her hands were trembling. She clenched them into fists. Let me out of this elevator. Not until you agree to see her. You can't keep me here. Watch me. Emmanuel leaned against the button panel. I'll stay here all day if I have to. You want to get out? Agree to meet Lily. This is kidnapping. This is desperation. They stood in silence. The elevator made small mechanical sounds. Grace could hear her own breathing. Fast. Shallow. Panic trying to creep in. You used to tell me stories, Emmanuel said suddenly. When I was little. About Haiti. About your grandmother. She raised you when your mother was working in the city. You said she was the strongest woman you ever knew. That she survived things that would have broken most people. You said you wanted to be like her. Don't. She died when you were 16. Same age as Lily. You said her last words to you were stay soft. You didn't understand what she meant. You thought strength meant being hard. Being tough. Not breaking. Emmanuel's voice softened. But she meant stay human. Stay capable of mercy. Stay capable of forgiveness. Because the moment you lose that, you lose yourself. She was wrong. Was she? Look at you, Mom. Look at what you've become. You're not strong. You're just hard. And there's a difference. Grace felt something crack inside her chest. Let me out. Promise you'll see Lily. I promise I'll call security if you don't move. I'm your son. They won't arrest me for talking to my mother. You stopped being my son the day you called Vivian Mama. The words hung in the air. Emmanuel flinched like she'd hit him. I was 4 years old, he said quietly. I was a baby. And I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I hurt you. But I didn't understand. I just knew Vivian was there and you weren't. And I was too young to know why. You weren't too young at 10. Or 15. Or 20. You had plenty of time to figure it out. But you never did. Because it was easier to love her than to understand me. You're right. You're absolutely right. I took the easy path. I loved the parent who was available. And I'm sorry. But Lily, she's never taken anything from you. She's never hurt you. She's just a kid who got born into a bad situation. Like you. Like me. And you loved me anyway. Even when I didn't deserve it. Even when I hated you. You loved me anyway. Emmanuel's eyes were wet. Can't you do the same for her number? Because you were mine. She's theirs. She's a human being. Doesn't that count for anything? Grace pressed the button. The elevator started moving. Emmanuel didn't stop her this time. It counts for exactly as much as I counted when Vivian destroyed my life, Grace said. Which is nothing. The doors opened. Grace walked out. Emmanuel called after her. Lily said something this morning. Before the pneumonia got bad. She said if you don't save her, she understands. She said you've already survived the worst thing. You don't have to save her to prove you're good. You just have to live with knowing you could have. Grace kept walking. Out the main entrance. Into the parking lot. Into her car. She sat there for 10 minutes. Engine off. Just breathing. Her phone rang. Patricia. Morrison's office just called me. They want to interview me about the file access. Grace, they know I pulled Vivian's records. What did you tell them? Nothing yet. I'm scheduled to meet with them in an hour. What do I say? Tell them the truth. That I asked you to pull the files. That I wanted proof of Vivian's corruption. That'll implicate you too. I don't care anymore. Grace. You could lose your nursing license over this. Then I lose it. At least I'll go down fighting. Is this really worth it? Destroying Vivian, destroying yourself. Grace closed her eyes. I don't know. Ask me after Lily dies. She hung up. But her hands wouldn't stop shaking. She thought about what Emmanuel said. About staying soft. About staying human. About the grandmother who survived everything and still believed in mercy. Her phone buzzed. Text from unknown number. This is Marcus. Emmanuel told me what happened at the hospital. I'm coming to see you. Don't leave. Grace started the engine. But before she could drive away, Marcus appeared. Tapping on her window. She rolled it down. Grace. We need to talk. We have nothing to talk about. Yes, we do. About everything I did wrong. Everything I took from you. Everything I need to make right. It's too late. Maybe. But let me try anyway. Please. Against her better judgment, Grace unlocked the passenger door. Marcus got in. He looked older than she remembered. Tired. Gray. Used up. Vivian just called me, he said. She's falling apart. Says you're going to destroy her career. That Morrison's investigating her. That she's going to lose everything. Good. Is it really good, or are you just hurting people because you're hurt? Don't psychoanalyze me, Marcus. You lost that right 18 years ago. You're right. I did. But I'm going to say this anyway. You're not destroying Vivian. You're destroying yourself. Because the woman I married, the woman I loved, she wouldn't do this. She wouldn't let a child die to prove a point. The woman you married died. You killed her. No. She's still in there. I see her. Emmanuel sees her. Even Lily sees her. You're the only one who can't. You don't know anything about me anymore. I know you called the hospital at 4 in the morning to get Lily pain medication. I know you didn't have to do that. I know that means something. It means I'm a nurse. That's all. It means you still care. Even when you don't want to. Even when it hurts. Grace turned to look at him. Really look at him. Do you love Vivian? The question caught him off guard. What simple question. Do you love her? Marcus looked away. I don't know. You destroyed my life for a woman you don't even love. How does that feel? Like shit. It feels like shit. Every day. Good. Now get out of my car. Grace, get out. Or I'm calling the police. Marcus opened the door. Started to get out. Stopped. She's asking for you. Lily. She wants to meet you before she dies. Then she's going to die disappointed. Like Emmanuel was disappointed, like your mother was disappointed when you couldn't come to her funeral, like everyone you've ever loved was disappointed when you chose work over them. Grace's hand flew up. She slapped him. Hard. Across the face. The sound cracked through the car. Marcus touched his cheek. I deserved that. You deserve worse. You're right. But Lily doesn't deserve any of this. And deep down you know that. He got out. Closed the door. Grace watched him walk away. Her hand stung. Her eyes burned. Her chest felt tight. She couldn't breathe right. Her phone rang again. This time she didn't recognize the number. She answered anyway. Is this Grace? A young woman's voice. Not Lily. Not Sophie. Who's asking? My name is Dr. Sarah Chen. I'm Lily's oncologist. I got your number from Emmanuel. I'm calling because I need to tell you something. Something the family doesn't know yet. Grace's blood went cold. What? Lily's pneumonia is worsening faster than we expected. We're moving her to ICU. Even with the transplant, her survival chances are dropping by the hour. Right now she's at maybe 30%. By tomorrow morning she'll be at 10. Why are you telling me this? Because I think you need to know. Whatever decision you need to make it fast. In 48 hours it won't matter anymore. She'll be too weak to survive the transplant procedure. So I'm running out of time to save her. No. She's running out of time to be saved. There's a difference. Why do you care? You don't know me. I'm a doctor. I care about all my patients. But I also read your chart. Saw your history. Saw what Vivian did to you. And I'm calling to tell you that whatever you decide, I'll support it. If you say no, I'll tell the family you're not medically cleared. I'll protect you from the fallout. Why would you do that? Because I had a Vivian once. A woman who destroyed my life and then expected me to save her when she needed help. And I said no. And I've regretted it every day for 10 years. So I'm giving you something I never had. A choice made with full information. No pressure. No manipulation. Just the truth. What happened with your Vivian? She died. And I told myself I did the right thing. That she deserved it. That justice was served. But at 3 in the morning when I can't sleep, I wonder if maybe mercy would have felt better than revenge. Does it get easier? Number. It gets quieter. But not easier. I don't know if I can do it. Save Lily. Give them anything more after everything they took. Then don't. Say no. Walk away. Live your life. But do it knowing exactly what you're choosing. Not revenge. Not justice. Just a girl dying because her mother was a terrible person. And you get to decide if that's enough reason. The line went dead. Grace sat in her car. The sun was higher now. People were walking into the hospital. Starting their shifts. Living their normal lives. While Grace's entire world was falling apart. Her phone buzzed one last time. Text from Lily. I know you're probably not going to read this. But I wanted to say thank you for the pain meds. I slept for 3 hours. First real sleep in weeks. My mom says you're a monster. My dad says you're hurt. Emmanuel says you're complicated. I think you're just tired. Tired of being hurt. Tired of giving. Tired of losing. I get it. I'm tired too. Tired of being sick. Tired of being scared. Tired of watching my mom fall apart. So maybe we're the same. Both just tired of fighting. Both ready to give up. If you don't save me, I understand. I really do. I just hope you understand something too. That saying no won't make you feel better. It'll just make you feel less. Less human. Less alive. Less you. And I think you've already lost enough. Don't lose yourself too. Grace stared at the message. Read it 3 times. Then she did something she hadn't done in 18 years. She cried. Real tears. Not angry tears. Not bitter tears. Just sad, exhausted, broken tears. The kind that came from the deepest part of yourself. The part that had been buried under rage and resentment and survival for so long that you'd forgotten it existed. She cried for the woman she used to be. The one who came to America with $47 and hope. The one who believed in love and family and second chances. The one who died in a doorway 18 years ago watching her husband betray her. She cried for Emmanuel. For the childhood he lost. For the mother he needed and the mother he got. For all the moments she missed because she was working. For all the love she couldn't give because she was too exhausted to feel. She cried for herself. For every sacrifice that went unnoticed. Every hour worked that nobody counted. Every piece of herself she gave away until there was nothing left. And she cried for Lily. A girl she'd never met. A girl who was dying. A girl who didn't choose her parents or her birth or her disease. A girl who was just unlucky enough to be born into the aftermath of someone else's betrayal. Grace looked at her phone. At Lily's message. At all the missed calls and texts and desperate pleas. At the evidence of Vivian's corruption still sitting in her email. At all the ways she could destroy or save or choose or refuse. And she made a decision. She didn't know if it was the right one. Didn't know if she'd regret it. Didn't know if mercy was stronger than revenge or if forgiveness was braver than hate. But she knew she was tired. So tired. And maybe Lily was right. Maybe saying no wouldn't make her feel better. Maybe it would just make her feel less. And Grace had already lost enough. She didn't want to lose herself too. Grace called the hospital. Asked for Dr. Sarah Chen. When she answered, Grace said 3 words. I'll do it. Silence on the other end. Then are you sure? Number. But I'm doing it anyway. What do I need to do? Come to the hospital. Now. We need to run tests. Verify the match. Get you cleared for surgery. Grace, once we start this process you can't back out. Lily's too weak. If we prep her and you change your mind, the stress alone could kill her. I won't change my mind. How do you know? Because I'm too tired to keep fighting. And because a 16-year-old girl told me something true. That saying no won't make me feel better. It'll just make me feel less. And I've already lost enough. Grace drove back to the hospital. Parked. Walked through the doors. This time everything felt different. Heavier. More final. Like she was walking towards something she couldn't undo. Dr. Chen met her at the elevator. Young. Asian. Tired eyes that had seen too much death. Thank you for coming. Don't thank me yet. I have conditions. What conditions? Vivian doesn't get to see me. Doesn't get to thank me. Doesn't get to be in the room. I'll save her daughter. But I don't owe her closure. Done. What else? Marcus stays away. I don't want to see him. Don't want to hear from him. This isn't reconciliation. This is a medical procedure. Understood. Anything else? Grace stopped walking. I want to meet Lily. Before the surgery. Just me and her. 5 minutes. No family. No one else. Dr. Chen nodded. I'll arrange it. But Grace, she's very sick. ICU. Intubated. She might not be conscious. I don't need her conscious. I just need to look at her. To know exactly who I'm doing this for. They took the elevator to the 6th floor. ICU. The doors opened and Emmanuel was there. Waiting. His eyes were red. He'd been crying. Mom. His voice broke. Dr. Chen called me. She said you're doing it. You're really doing it. Don't make this bigger than it is. It's a medical procedure. It's more than that. It's mercy. It's forgiveness. It's not forgiveness. Don't confuse the two. I'm saving a girl's life. I'm not absolving anyone of anything. Emmanuel stepped forward. Tried to hug her. Grace stepped back. Don't. I'm not doing this for you. I'm not doing this for Vivian or Marcus. I'm doing this because I don't want to be the kind of person who lets a child die. That's all. Can I at least say thank you? You can say nothing. You can stay out of my way. You can let me do this without turning it into some grand redemption arc. I'm not redeeming anything. I'm just tired of the alternative. She walked past him. Dr. Chen led her to a private room. Blood draws. Medical history. Consent forms. Grace signed everything without reading. Her hands were steady now. The shaking had stopped. Something had shifted inside her. A resignation. An acceptance. Maybe even peace. The extraction is scheduled for tomorrow morning, Dr. Chen said. 6 a.m. We'll put you under general anesthesia. Extract bone marrow from your hip. The procedure takes about an hour. Recovery is painful but manageable. You'll be in the hospital 2 to 3 days. And Lily, we'll prep her simultaneously. If everything goes well, we'll transplant the marrow within 4 hours of extraction. Then we wait. Her body either accepts it or rejects it. We won't know for several days. What are her chances with the transplant? 40%. Without it, 0. Grace nodded. When can I see her now? Follow me. They walked through ICU. Past rooms with dying patients. Machines beeping. Families crying. Grace had walked these halls 1,000 times as a nurse. But never as a donor. Never as someone giving a piece of herself to save a stranger. Dr. Chen stopped at room 617. She's heavily sedated. Intubated. She might not respond. You have 5 minutes. Grace pushed open the door. Lily was small. That was Grace's first thought. So small in the hospital bed. Tubes everywhere. Machines breathing for her. Her skin was gray. Her lips were cracked. Her hair was gone. Just a bald head with fuzz growing back. But her face. God. Her face was Marcus's. The same nose. Same cheekbones. Same shape to her closed eyes. Grace felt something twist in her chest. This was Marcus's daughter. The daughter he had with Vivian. The daughter he actually stayed for. Actually raised. Actually loved. Grace stepped closer. The machines beeped steadily. Lily's chest rose and fell with the ventilator. Grace reached out. Touched Lily's hand. Cold. So cold. I don't know if you can hear me, Grace said quietly. But I'm here. I'm Grace. Your mom came to my house and begged me to save you. Then she threatened me. Then I threatened her back. And for a while there I thought I was going to let you die just to hurt her. Just to make her feel what I felt 18 years ago when she destroyed my life. Lily's fingers twitched. Maybe a reflex. Maybe not. But then you texted me. And you said something that got under my skin. You said I was your hero. That you wanted to be like me. Strong. Unbreakable. Someone who survives no matter what. Grace's voice caught. But you were wrong. I'm not unbreakable. I'm just broken in ways that don't show. And if I let you die, I'd be broken in ways I couldn't hide anymore. She squeezed Lily's hand. So I'm going to save you. Not because I forgive your mother. Not because I love your father. Not because I want to rebuild my relationship with Emmanuel. I'm doing it because you're 16 years old and you deserve a chance. And because somewhere in all this pain and anger and betrayal, I'm still the woman who came to America believing people deserve second chances. Even when they don't deserve first ones. Lily's eyes opened. Just a crack. Unfocused. Drugged. But open. Grace, her voice was barely a whisper around the breathing tube. Yeah. It's me. You came. I came. Why? Grace thought about it. About all the reasons. All the pain. All the history. All the rage that had kept her alive for 18 years. And she boiled it down to the simplest truth. Because you asked nicely. Lily's lips curved. Almost a smile. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. This might not work. Even if it doesn't. Thank you for trying. Grace's throat went tight. Sleep now. Save your strength. Tomorrow's going to be hard. Will you be there when I wake up? I don't know. Please. I'm scared. You should be. This is scary. Will you hold my hand during the surgery? I know we'll be in different rooms, but can you just? I don't know. Think about holding my hand so I'm not alone. Grace's eyes burned. Yeah, I can do that. Grace, what I read about you. Online. After Emmanuel told me who you were. I read about how you came to America. How you worked 3 jobs. How you put yourself through nursing school. How you saved that man's life last year. The one who coded. Lily's voice was fading. Weaker. You're everything I want to be. Strong. Smart. Someone who fights. Promise me something. What if I die tomorrow? If this doesn't work, tell my mom I wasn't scared at the end. Tell her I was brave. Like you. You're not going to die. But if I do, you're not going to die because I'm not going to let you. I've lost enough in my life. I'm not losing you too. The words came out before Grace could stop them. And she realized with a shock that she meant them. This girl. This stranger. This living reminder of everything Grace had lost. She didn't want her to die. Didn't want another person's blood on her conscience. Didn't want to carry that weight for the rest of her life. Lily's eyes closed. Thank you, Grace. Grace left the room. Dr. Chen was waiting outside. How is she dying? But fighting. That's something. It's everything. Grace, you should know. Vivian's been trying to get into the ICU. Security has had to remove her twice. She's demanding to see you. To thank you. I don't want her thanks. I told her that. She's not listening. She's saying things. About how you're a hero. About how she was wrong. About how she's sorry for everything. She's sorry she got caught. That's not the same thing. Maybe. But she seems genuine. Vivian's always genuine. That's how she got Marcus to cheat. That's how she got Emmanuel to love her. That's how she built her life on my ruins. She's very good at seeming genuine. Dr. Chen nodded. Fair enough. Get some rest. Tomorrow's going to be difficult. The extraction is painful. The recovery is worse. You'll need your strength. Grace went home. But she couldn't rest. Couldn't sleep. Just lay in bed staring at the ceiling thinking about Lily's face. About how much she looked like Marcus. About how wrong it felt to hate a child for her father's sins. Her phone rang at 11 p.m. Unknown number. She almost didn't answer. But something made her. Grace, Sophie's voice. Lily's sister. I know you probably don't want to talk to me. But I needed to call. To say thank you. Lily told me you came to see her. That you held her hand. That you promised to save her. I didn't promise anything. She said you did. She said you told her you weren't going to let her die. That you'd lost enough and you weren't losing her too. I shouldn't have said that. Why not? It's true, isn't it? You do care. Even if you don't want to. Grace closed her eyes. I don't know what I feel anymore. Can I tell you something about my mom? I don't want to hear about Vivian. Please. Just listen. She's falling apart. Like really falling apart. She hasn't slept in 4 days. Hasn't eaten. She just sits outside the ICU crying. Saying she destroyed everything. That she ruined your life and now she's ruining Lily's. That if Lily dies it's her fault for being a terrible person. It is her fault. Maybe. But does that mean Lily should pay for it? Lily's not paying for anything. Cancer isn't punishment. It's just bad luck. But you were going to let her die. That would have been punishment. I wasn't going to let her die. I was just going to let nature take its course. Is there a difference? Grace thought about that. I used to think so. Now I'm not sure. My mom wants to talk to you. Before the surgery. She says she needs to explain. To apologize properly. To make you understand why she did what she did. There's no explanation that makes it okay. I know. But maybe hearing it would help. Maybe it would give you closure. I don't want closure with Vivian. I want her to disappear from my life forever. Then after tomorrow she will. After the surgery we're moving. Dad got a job offer in Seattle. Mom's resigning from the hospital. We're leaving New York. You'll never have to see any of us again. Grace felt something sharp in her chest. Relief, sadness, she couldn't tell anymore. When did you decide this? Yesterday. After you exposed Mom's file manipulation. After Morrison started the investigation. After everything fell apart. Dad said we needed a fresh start. Mom agreed. She said she can't stay in the city where she destroyed you. That seeing you every day at the hospital is killing her. So we're leaving. Good. You should. But before we go, Mom wants to say goodbye. Properly. Not angry. Not desperate. Just honest. Will you let her? Why would I do that? Because you're better than her. Everyone knows it. She knows it. And maybe giving her the chance to apologize, really apologize, would prove it to yourself too. I don't need to prove anything. Then don't do it for you. Do it for Lily. So when she wakes up after the surgery her family isn't destroyed. So she has something to fight for. Grace hung up. But the words stayed with her. Do it for Lily. Give her something to fight for. Like Grace was suddenly responsible for this girl's emotional well-being on top of her physical survival. She tried to sleep. Couldn't. At 2 a.m. she gave up. Drove back to the hospital. Found herself outside the ICU. Vivian was there. Asleep in a chair. Face pressed against the window of Lily's room. She looked destroyed. Hair unwashed. Clothes wrinkled. Makeup gone. Just a middle-aged woman who'd lost everything. Grace almost left. Almost turned around and walked away. But then Vivian woke up. Saw her. Grace. Vivian stood. Swayed. Caught herself on the wall. You're here. I couldn't sleep. Me neither. I haven't slept since this all started. Vivian's voice was hollow. Thank you. For agreeing to donate. Sophie told me. I know you're doing it for Lily. Not for me. But thank you anyway. I'm not doing this for you. I know. You've made that clear. But Grace. Please. Let me say something. One thing. Then I'll leave you alone forever. Grace's jaw tightened. One thing. That's all you get. Vivian took a shaking breath. I'm sorry. I know that's not enough. I know sorry doesn't fix anything. But I need you to hear it. I'm sorry for the affair. I'm sorry for taking Marcus. I'm sorry for raising Emmanuel. I'm sorry for every moment of pain I caused you. And I'm sorry for threatening you. For trying to destroy your career. For being exactly the person you always knew I was. Are you done? Number one more thing. You were right. About everything. I did manipulate Marcus's transfer. I did abuse my position. I did build my relationship on corruption. And I've spent 18 years telling myself it was worth it. That I loved him. That we were meant to be. But the truth is I don't even know if I love him anymore. I haven't known for years. Grace's eyebrows rose. Then why stay? Because leaving would mean admitting I destroyed your life for nothing. That I took your husband, your son, your sense of self, all for a relationship that wasn't even real. And I couldn't face that. So I stayed. And I lied. To myself. To Marcus. To everyone. Why are you telling me this now? Because you deserve the truth. And because I'm tired of lying. Lily's cancer, it showed me something. Showed me that all the things I thought mattered, my career, my reputation, my perfect life, none of it means anything if I lose her. And I'm losing her. And it's my fault. Cancer isn't your fault. But this is. The distance between us. The way she looks at me like I'm a stranger. The way she talks about you like you're her hero and I'm just nothing. Vivian's voice cracked. She told me yesterday. She saw Grace as braver than you ever were. She survived losing everything and she's still standing. What have you survived except other people's paw? And Grace felt something twist. She said that word for word. And she was right. You survived real loss, real pain, real betrayal. And you're still here, still strong, still capable of mercy even when you have every right to be merciless. That's strength. What I did taking Marcus, raising Emmanuel, building my life on your suffering, that wasn't strength. That was cowardice. Why are you saying all this? Because tomorrow you're going to save my daughter's life. And I need you to know that I see you. Really see you. Not as the woman I destroyed. But as the woman who survived the destruction. And came out stronger than I'll ever be. Grace stared at her. At this woman who had taken everything. Who was now standing here broken and honest and asking for nothing except to be heard. I don't forgive you, Grace said finally. I know. I don't like you. I don't trust you. And when you move to Seattle, I never want to hear from you again. I understand. But I'm glad you're leaving. Because seeing you every day at the hospital, knowing you're there, it's poison. And I'm tired of being poisoned. Me too. They stood in silence. Then Vivian did something unexpected. She held out her hand. Truce, not forgiveness. Not friendship. Just an end to the war. Grace looked at the hand. Thought about not taking it. Thought about walking away without giving Vivian even that small piece of closure. But then she thought about Lily. About a 16-year-old girl who needed her mother. Who needed her family intact. Who needed something to fight for when she woke up from surgery. Grace took Vivian's hand. Shook it once. Firm. Final. Truce. But only because Lily deserves better than growing up in the middle of our hatred. Thank you. Grace pulled her hand back. Don't thank me. Just keep your word. Move to Seattle. Disappear from my life. Let me forget you exist. I will. I promise. Grace started to walk away. Then stopped. Turned back. Vivian. One question. Anything. Was it worth it, Marcus? Emmanuel. The life you built. Was it worth destroying mine? Vivian's face crumpled. No. It wasn't. Not even close. Grace nodded. That's what I thought. She left. Went home. This time she slept. Dreamless. Heavy. The kind of sleep that came from exhaustion so deep it bypassed the mind and went straight to the bones. Her alarm went off at 4:30 a.m. Surgery was at 6. She showered. Dressed in comfortable clothes. Drove to the hospital in darkness. Emmanuel was in the waiting area. He stood when he saw her. Mom. Can we talk? We have nothing to talk about. Please. 5 minutes. Grace checked the time. 5:15. She had 45 minutes before surgery. 5 minutes. That's all. They walked to a private consultation room. Emmanuel closed the door. I need to tell you something. Something I should have told you years ago. What I love you. I know I don't show it. I know I chose Vivian over you. I know I hurt you in ways I can never fix. But I love you. I've always loved you. Even when I hated you. Even when I resented you. Even when I wished you were different. I loved you. Grace felt her chest tighten. Emmanuel, let me finish. Please. You asked me once when I chose them over you. And I said I was 3. Too young to understand. But that was a lie. I understood. I understood that you were working to keep us alive. That you were tired and stressed and barely hanging on. But I was angry anyway. Because I was a kid and I wanted my mom and you weren't there. And I punished you for it. Every day. For 18 years. I punished you. Stop. No. You need to hear this. You asked me if I remember you holding my hand at the hospital when I split my head. I do. I remember everything. Every story you told me. Every song you sang. Every time you showed up exhausted but still present. I remember all of it. And I'm sorry I made you think I forgot. I'm sorry I made you feel like you weren't enough. Because you were. You were always enough. I just couldn't see it. Grace's eyes burned. Why are you telling me this now? Because you're about to put yourself through pain to save Lily. To save my sister. And I need you to know that it matters. That I see what you're doing. That I understand the sacrifice. And that I love you for it. I'm not doing this for your love, Emmanuel. I know. You're doing it because you're a better person than the rest of us. But that doesn't mean you don't deserve to hear it. That you're loved. That you matter. That everything you did, all the work, all the sacrifice, all the pain, it wasn't for nothing." Grace turned away. She couldn't look at him. Couldn't let him see her face. "I need to go. Surgery's in 30 minutes. Mom. Wait." She stopped at the door. Didn't turn around. "Whatever happens today. Whatever happens with Lily. Whatever happens with us. I want you to know something. You're the strongest person I've ever known. Stronger than Vivian. Stronger than Dad. Stronger than me. And I'm proud to be your son." Grace's hand trembled on the doorknob. "Goodbye, Emmanuel. Not goodbye. I'll see you after surgery. Maybe." She walked out. Dr. Chen was waiting at the surgical prep area. "Ready number. But let's do it anyway." They prepped her. IV line. Hospital gown. Consent forms signed one last time. Grace lay on the gurney. They wheeled her toward the OR. The ceiling tiles passed above her. Fluorescent lights. The hospital smell. Antiseptic and fear. Grace, Dr. Chen's voice from somewhere nearby. "Lily wanted me to tell you something. Before you went under. What she said, thank you. For giving her a second chance. And she said she hopes one day you'll give yourself one too." The anesthesiologist placed a mask over Grace's face. "Count backward from 10. 10. 9. 8. Grace thought about Lily. About holding her hand across operating rooms. About two women fighting for their lives. One against cancer. One against the past. 7. 6. 5. She thought about Emmanuel. About loving someone even when they hurt you. About forgiveness being harder than hate. 4. 3. She thought about herself. About the woman she used to be. And the woman she'd become. And the woman she might still be able to be. 2. The world went dark. But before it did, Grace realized something. The surgery wasn't the hard part. Waking up after was going to be worse. Because she'd have to face what she'd done. Who she'd saved. And what that meant about who she was. And more importantly, she'd have to face whether Lily had survived. Or if Grace had put herself through all this pain just to fail. The machines beeped. The doctors worked. And somewhere in another OR they were extracting bone marrow from Grace's hip and preparing to put it into Lily's dying body. And Grace's last conscious thought was a prayer. To a God she'd stopped believing in 18 years ago. To a grandmother who told her to stay soft. To anyone who was listening. Please, let this work. Let me not have done this for nothing. Then everything went black. Pain woke her. Sharp and deep in her hip. Grace opened her eyes to white ceiling tiles and fluorescent lights. Recovery room. A nurse she didn't recognize was checking her vitals. "Welcome back. How do you feel?" "Like someone drilled into my bone." "Because someone did." The nurse smiled. "That's normal. Pain scale 1 to 10, 8. I'll increase your medication." The nurse adjusted the IV. "You did great. Surgery went perfectly. No complications." Grace's mouth was dry. "Lily, the transplant is complete. She received your bone marrow about 2 hours ago. Now we wait. How long? 72 hours minimum to see if her body accepts it. Maybe longer. And if it doesn't." The nurse's face went carefully neutral. "Let's think positive." Grace closed her eyes. Positive. She'd just undergone surgery to save a stranger's life and they wanted her to think positive. She wanted to laugh but her hip hurt too much. "Your son is outside. He's been asking about you every 10 minutes. Should I send him in number? He seems very worried." "That's his problem." The nurse hesitated. "There's also a girl. Sophie. She's been waiting with him. She wanted me to tell you that Lily opened her eyes after the transplant. Just for a minute. But she was conscious." "That's a good sign." Grace felt something twist. "Fine. Send Sophie in. Not Emmanuel." The nurse left. A few minutes later Sophie came in. 13 years old. Marcus's features. Vivian's coloring. She looked terrified. "Grace, can I sit? It's a free country." Sophie sat in the chair by the bed. Fidgeted with her hands. "Thank you. For doing this. For saving Lily. She's not saved yet. But you gave her a chance. That's everything." Grace turned her head. Looked at this child. This girl who shared DNA with Marcus. Who grew up in the house that should have been Emmanuel's. Who had the childhood Grace couldn't give her son. Why are you here, Sophie? Because Lily asked me to check on you. She woke up after the transplant and the first thing she said was, "Is Grace okay? Not am I okay? Not did it work? She asked about you. She's on a lot of drugs." She meant it. She said you're the bravest person she knows. That you gave her part of yourself even though you had every reason not to. Grace's throat tightened. Stop making me sound like a hero. I'm not. You are to us. I shouldn't be. I almost let her die. But you didn't. That's what matters. Sophie leaned forward. Can I ask you something? What? Do you hate us, me and Lily, for existing? The question hit like a punch. Grace stared at the ceiling. I don't know. That's fair. We're proof of what my mom did to you. Every time you see us, you see the affair. The betrayal. Everything you lost. You're smarter than 13. I grew up watching my mom cry about you. Watching my dad drink because he destroyed his first family. Watching Emmanuel torn between two lives. I learned fast. What did Vivian tell you about me? Sophie took a breath. She said you were the strongest woman she ever met. That you worked 3 jobs to keep Emmanuel alive. That you came to America with nothing and built everything. And that she destroyed it all because she was selfish and stupid and couldn't handle being ordinary. She said that last night. When she thought Lily was dying. She broke down. Told me and Emmanuel everything. How she manipulated Dad's transfer. How she pursued him. How she knew exactly what she was doing. Sophie's voice dropped. She said if Lily died it would be karma. Payment for what she did to you. Cancer isn't karma. It's just bad luck. But you almost let it be karma. You almost let Lily die to balance the scales. Yeah, I did. What changed your mind? Grace thought about it. About Lily's texts. About Emmanuel's voice breaking. About Dr. Chen saying mercy might feel better than revenge. About her grandmother telling her to stay soft. I got tired. Tired of being angry. Tired of carrying the weight. Tired of being the kind of person who could watch a child die and feel nothing. Do you feel something now? I don't know what I feel. Ask me when we know if she survives. The door opened. Emmanuel came in. Ignored the nurse's protests. Mom, I heard Sophie was here. I needed to see you. I said no visitors. I'm not a visitor. I'm your son. He moved to the other side of the bed. How's the pain? Manageable. Liar. Your hands are shaking. That means 8 or higher. Grace looked at her hands. He was right. When did you learn that I pay attention? Even when you think I don't. Emmanuel pulled up a chair. Sat. Dr. Chen said the extraction went perfectly. Said you were a model patient. I was unconscious. Hard to be difficult when you're not awake. Still, thank you. For doing this. For saving Lily. She's not saved yet. But she has a chance. That's more than she had yesterday. Sophie stood. I should go. Let you two talk. No. Grace's voice was sharp. Stay. Whatever Emmanuel has to say, he can say it in front of you. Sophie sat back down. Emmanuel looked between them. Then nodded. Okay. Then I'll say it. I talked to Vivian this morning. Before your surgery. She told me everything. About the file manipulation. About Morrison's investigation. About how you exposed her corruption. Good. She should face consequences. She is. She resigned. This morning. Effective immediately. Morrison accepted it in exchange for not pursuing criminal charges. Grace felt something cold settle. She quit. She had to. The investigation was going to destroy her. Better to leave quietly than get fired publicly. That's not justice. That's escape. Maybe. But it's over. She's done. We're moving to Seattle next month. You'll never have to see her again. What about you? What about me? Are you going with them to Seattle? Emmanuel was quiet. Lily and Sophie need me. Especially now. Especially if Lily survives the transplant. She'll need family. Support. I can't abandon them. But you can abandon me. That's not fair. Fair? Grace's voice rose. The pain in her hip flared. You want to talk about fair? I just gave part of my body to save Vivian's daughter. And you're leaving anyway. I'm not leaving you. I'm moving. There's a difference. Is there? Feels the same from here. Emmanuel's jaw tightened. What do you want from me, Mom? You want me to stay in New York, cut ties with Lily and Sophie, choose you over them? I want you to choose me once. Just once. I want to matter more than them. You do matter. You matter more than you know. Then stay. Prove it. I can't. The words hung in the air. Grace felt something inside her crack. Again. Still. Always. Then we're done here. Mom, I said we're done. Get out. I'm not leaving like this. Yes, you are. Because I'm tired and in pain and I don't have the energy to beg my own son to choose me. I've been begging for 18 years. I'm done. Emmanuel stood. Looked at Sophie. Give us a minute number. Grace cut in. She stays. You go. Fine. But Mom, one more thing. Lily wanted me to give you this. He pulled out a folded piece of paper. Set it on the bedside table. She wrote it before the transplant. In case she didn't make it. She wanted you to have it. He left. Sophie stood to follow. Grace stopped her. Wait. Read it to me. The letter. I can't reach it and my vision's blurry from the meds. Sophie picked up the paper. Unfolded it. Started reading. Dear Grace. If you're reading this, I'm probably dead. Which sucks. But if I died, it means you tried to save me. And that's more than I deserved. You didn't know me. Didn't owe me anything. I'm just the daughter of the woman who destroyed your life. But you tried to save me anyway. That makes you a better person than most. Sophie's voice wavered. Kept going. I want you to know something. Before I got sick, I was planning to find you. To apologize for existing. For being proof of my mom's affair. For taking resources and love and attention that should have gone to Emmanuel. I practiced what I'd say. I'm sorry for being born. But then I met you. Well, kind of met you. Through texts and one visit. And I realized something. You don't need my apology. You need everyone to stop making you the villain in your own story. Grace's eyes burned. My mom made you the villain. Said you were cold and unforgiving and cared more about work than family. My dad went along with it because it made him feel better about cheating. Emmanuel believed it because it was easier than accepting that he chose comfort over loyalty. Everyone needed you to be the bad guy. Because if you weren't bad, that meant they were. And they couldn't handle that. Sophie stopped. Wiped her eyes. Continued. But you're not bad. You're just hurt. And tired. And so fucking strong that everyone forgot you're still human. They forgot you can break. They forgot you already broke and somehow kept going. I'm sorry we forgot. I'm sorry I forgot. I'm sorry for all of it. Sophie's voice broke. There's more. Keep reading. I hope the transplant works. I hope I get to live. But if I don't, I want you to know that my last thought was gratitude. Gratitude that someone like you exists. Someone who survives everything and still finds the strength to save a stranger. That's the kind of person I wanted to be. Strong. Brave. Unbreakable. Like you. Thank you for trying. Thank you for caring. Thank you for being my hero. Even if you don't want to be. Love, Lily. Sophie folded the paper. Set it down. They sat in silence. She wrote this before the transplant. Grace's voice came out rough. Yeah. She was terrified she wouldn't wake up. Wanted you to know how she felt. She's dramatic. She's 16. Same thing. Sophie almost smiled. Then it faded. Grace, can I ask you something else? What now? Do you regret it saving her even if Emmanuel's leaving anyway, even if nothing changes? Grace thought about it. The pain in her hip. The exhaustion in her bones. The letter on the bedside table. The girl in the ICU fighting for her life with Grace's bone marrow in her body. Ask me in 72 hours. When we know if she lives. That's not an answer. It's the only one I have. The nurse came back. Sophie, I need to check Grace's vitals. You should go. Sophie stood. Started to leave. Turned back. Grace, even if Lily doesn't make it. Even if this was all for nothing. I want you to know something. You're the bravest person I've ever met. And I'm glad I got to know you. Even just a little. She left. Grace closed her eyes. The pain medication was kicking in. Making her drowsy. She drifted in and out. Time moved strangely. Minutes felt like hours. Hours felt like seconds. Voices outside her room. Dr. Chen. Another doctor. Speaking in low tones. Grace couldn't make out the words. But something in their tone made her stomach drop. Dr. Chen came in. Her face was carefully neutral. Professional. The expression doctors wore when delivering bad news. Grace. We need to talk. Lily's dead. No. But there's a complication. Her body is showing signs of graft versus host disease. The transplanted cells are attacking her organs. It's early. Manageable. But serious. How serious? If we can't control it in the next 48 hours, her chances of survival drop to less than 10%. Grace felt hollow. So I did this for nothing. We don't know that yet. GVHD is common. We have treatments. She might pull through. Might. That's better than the 0% she had without you. Is it, or did I just extend her suffering? Dr. Chen sat down. Grace. Listen to me. You did everything right. The extraction was perfect. The transplant went smoothly. Lily's reaction isn't your fault. It's just biology. Sometimes bodies reject what's trying to save them. Story of my life. What nothing. When will we know if the treatment works? 48 hours. Maybe less. She's in ICU. Critical condition. Family only allowed to visit. I'm not family. You're her donor. That makes you family in every way that counts. Dr. Chen paused. She's been asking for you. Between conscious moments. She keeps saying your name. She's delirious. Maybe. Or maybe she needs to know you're still here. Still fighting with her. I can't go see her. If she dies, I don't want to watch. And if she lives, you want her first conscious memory to be that you saved her life, then abandoned her. Grace turned away. Get out. I need to sleep. Grace out. Dr. Chen left. Grace lay in the dark. The pain in her hip was nothing compared to the pain in her chest. She'd done it. Given a piece of herself. Put herself through agony. And for what? A girl who might die anyway. A son who was leaving anyway. A family that had destroyed her and would disappear to Seattle anyway. Nothing had changed. Nothing ever changed. Her phone buzzed. Text from Patricia. Heard about the surgery. Heard about Lily's complications. Are you okay? Grace typed back. Define okay. Are you regretting it? Ask me when I know if she lives or dies. That's not fair to yourself. You did a brave thing. Regardless of outcome. Bravery is just stupidity with better PR. Grace. Stop. You saved a girl's life. Maybe. Probably. That matters. Does it? If she dies, I'm just the woman who went through surgery for nothing. If she lives, I'm the woman who saved her enemy's daughter. Either way, I'm still alone. Still broken. Still the villain in everyone's story but my own. You're not the villain. You never were. Then why does it feel like I lost anyway? No response. Grace put the phone down. Closed her eyes. Tried to sleep. Couldn't. The pain was too sharp. The thoughts too loud. 48 hours. That's all she had to wait. 48 hours to know if she'd done this for nothing. If mercy was worth the cost. If staying soft meant staying strong or just staying stupid. The hours crawled by. Grace was released from the hospital the next afternoon. Sent home with pain medication and instructions to rest. She couldn't rest. Just paced her apartment. Phone in hand. Waiting for news. 36 hours after the transplant, Dr. Chen called. Lily's not responding to the GVHD treatment. We're trying more aggressive medication. But Grace. You need to prepare yourself. She might not make it. How long? Hours? Maybe a day. Does she know she's sedated? Intubated again. She can't speak. But she's conscious sometimes. And when she is, she keeps reaching for something. We think she's reaching for you. I can't come. I can't watch her die. Then don't watch her die. Come say goodbye. So she knows she didn't die alone. Grace hung up. Sat on her couch. Stared at the wall. She'd done everything. Given everything. And it still wasn't enough. Lily was dying anyway. And Grace would carry that weight forever. Her phone rang. Emmanuel. Mom. Please. Come to the hospital. Lily's asking for you. She can't talk but she's writing your name. Over and over. She needs you. I can't. Why not? Because if I go and she dies, I'll never forgive myself for not being enough. And if I don't go and she dies, I'll never forgive myself for not trying. Either way I lose. Then lose trying. Please Mom. She's dying. And the only person she wants is you. Grace closed her eyes. Thought about her grandmother. Stay soft. Stay human. Stay capable of mercy even when mercy costs everything. I'll be there in 20 minutes. She drove to the hospital. Her hip screamed with every movement. But she drove anyway. Parked. Walked through the doors. Took the elevator to ICU. Emmanuel was waiting outside Lily's room. She's stable. For now. But Dr. Chen says it won't last. How long do I have? I don't know. She's sedated but aware. You can talk to her. She might hear you. Grace pushed open the door. Lily looked worse. Gray skin. Tubes everywhere. Machines beeping. But her eyes were open. Unfocused. Searching. Grace moved to the bedside. Took Lily's hand. I'm here. Lily's eyes found hers. Tears rolled down her face. Don't cry. Save your strength. Lily squeezed Grace's hand. Weak. But deliberate. You want to say something? Lily nodded. Tried to speak. Couldn't. The tube in her throat prevented it. It's okay. You don't have to talk. Just rest. But Lily was insistent. Pulled at Grace's hand. Trying to communicate. Grace looked around. Found a pen and paper. Held it up. You want to write? Lily nodded. Grace positioned the paper. Lily's hand shook. But she wrote. Slow. Painful. One word. Sorry. Grace's vision blurred. What are you sorry for? Lily wrote again. Dying. Don't you dare apologize for that. This isn't your fault. More writing. Wasted your sacrifice. You didn't waste anything. You're still fighting. That's enough. Not enough. I'm losing. Grace leaned closer. Listen to me. You don't get to give up. I didn't go through surgery just to watch you quit. You fight. You hear me? You fight like hell. Lily's face crumpled. Wrote one more thing. Scared. I know. Me too. You scared, terrified. That I did this for nothing. That you'll die and I'll spend the rest of my life wondering if I killed you by trying to save you. Or if I saved you by trying at all. I don't know which is worse. Lily squeezed Grace's hand tighter. Wrote not your fault. It feels like my fault. Everything feels like my fault. Your mom destroying my life. Emmanuel choosing her. You getting sick. All of it. Not your fault. Lily wrote again. Underlined twice. Grace's tears came fast now. Why do you care? You're dying and you're worried about me feeling guilty? That's insane. Because you saved me. Even when you didn't want to. That's love. That's not love. That's just. I don't know. Mercy, exhaustion, stupidity. Lily smiled. Weak. Love. The machines started beeping faster. Nurses rushed in. Dr. Chen appeared. Grace, you need to leave. Her blood pressure is dropping. No. I'm staying. Grace, I said I'm staying. I'm not leaving her. Dr. Chen nodded. Started barking orders. The nurses worked. Grace held Lily's hand. Watched them fight. Watched Lily's eyes flutter. Watched the machines scream. We're losing her, one nurse said. Push more EPI, Dr. Chen ordered. Time slowed. Grace squeezed Lily's hand. Leaned close. Don't you dare die. You hear me? Don't you dare. I didn't come to this country, work 3 jobs, lose everything, give you my bone marrow just so you could quit now. You fight. You fight like I taught you. Like I showed you. You survive. Because that's what we do. We survive. Lily's eyes opened. Met Grace's. And something passed between them. Understanding. Recognition. 2 women. 2 survivors. Connected by pain and blood and something that looked like hope. The machines beeped. Once. Twice. Then steady. She's stabilizing, Dr. Chen said. Voice filled with disbelief. Her pressure's coming up. Heart rate normalizing. I don't. This shouldn't be happening. But it is, Grace said quietly. It is. Lily squeezed Grace's hand. Wrote one last thing with the other. Thank you. Grace bent down. Whispered so only Lily could hear. Thank you for not giving up. For fighting. For showing me that mercy isn't weakness. That staying soft is the hardest thing. And that sometimes the people who hurt us the most give us the children who save us. Lily's eyes closed. But she was smiling. And breathing. And alive. Dr. Chen pulled Grace aside. I don't know what you said. But it worked. She's stable. Not out of the woods. But stable. Her body's accepting the marrow. The GVHD is responding to treatment. Grace. I think she's going to make it. You think, or you know, medicine's never certain. But I've seen enough miracles to know one when I see it. And this is a miracle. Grace stumbled out of the room. Emmanuel was there. He caught her. Mom. You're shaking. I think I just saved her life. Again. You did. You absolutely did. I don't understand. Why did I do it? Why'd I care? Emmanuel held her. Really held her. Like he hadn't since he was 8. Because you're you. Because despite everything you still believe people deserve chances. Even when they don't deserve you. Grace pulled back. Looked at her son. You're leaving for Seattle. Yes. When 3 weeks. After Lily's stable enough to travel. Will you come back to visit? Emmanuel took a breath. I don't know. Honestly. I don't know if I can. If you want me to. I do. Want you to. Then I will. Not often. Maybe holidays. But I'll come. And I'll call. More than twice a year. I promise. Why now? Why change now? Because I watched you save my sister even though you hated everything about her existence. That's love, Mom. Real love. The kind that costs everything and expects nothing. And I realized I've never loved anyone like that. Not Vivian. Not Dad. Not even Lily. But you loved me like that. For 18 years. And I never saw it. You were a kid. I'm not a kid anymore. And I see it now. I see you. Finally. Really see you. And I'm sorry it took this long. Grace nodded. Go be with Lily. She needs her family. You're her family now too. No. I'm just the woman who gave her bone marrow. That's all. That's everything. 3 weeks later, Grace stood in her apartment. Packing boxes labeled Seattle were stacked by the door. Not hers. Emmanuel's. He was moving. Taking pieces of her life with him. Again. Still. Always. But this time was different. This time he hugged her. Long. Tight. Real. I'll call every week, Mom. I promise. You better. And I'll visit. Christmas. Maybe summer. Maybe definitely. Definitely summer. Lily appeared in the doorway. Walking. Alive. Thin and bald and tired. But alive. She crossed to Grace. Hugged her. Thank you. For everything. Don't thank me. Just live. That's payment enough. I will. I promise. And Grace, I'm going to be a nurse. Like you. I'm going to help people like you helped me. I'm going to save lives. Good. The world needs more nurses. And fewer people like your mother. Lily almost laughed. She's different now. Quieter. She cries a lot. Says she doesn't deserve Seattle. Doesn't deserve a fresh start. She's right. But she's getting one anyway. That's life. Unfair in every direction. Vivian appeared. Stood in the doorway. Didn't come in. Just looked at Grace. Thank you, she said simply. For Lily. For everything. I know you didn't do it for me. But thank you anyway. You're welcome, Grace said. And meant it. Not because she forgave. But because she was tired of holding hate. And because sometimes mercy was its own reward. Vivian left. Sophie hugged Grace next. I'll miss you. Is that weird? We barely know each other. It's weird. But I'll miss you too. Marcus came last. Stood awkwardly. Grace. I don't have words. Then don't say anything. I need to. I need you to know. I was wrong. About everything. About leaving you. About Vivian. About Emmanuel. All of it. And I'm sorry. Okay. That's it, just okay. What else do you want? Forgiveness, absolution? I can't give you that. But I can give you okay. That's all I have left. Marcus nodded. It's more than I deserve. Yeah, it is. They left. All of them. Drove away to Seattle. To their fresh start. Their new life. Built on the ashes of Grace's old one. But different now. Softer. Because Grace had shown them mercy. And mercy changed everything. Grace stood in her empty apartment. Alone. Again. Still. Always. But this time it felt different. The loneliness was quieter. Less sharp. Less permanent. She'd given away a piece of herself. And gotten something back. Not love. Not family. Not redemption. Understanding. That she was stronger than her pain. Braver than her fear. More capable than her trauma. That she'd survived everything. The poverty. The betrayal. The loss. The sacrifice. All of it. And she was still standing. Her phone buzzed. Text from Emmanuel. Made it to Seattle. Lily's tired but okay. She wanted me to tell you she loves you. I love you too, Mom. Talk next week. Grace stared at the message. Typed back, love you too. Be safe. She set the phone down. Looked around her apartment. At the life she'd built from nothing. The nursing degree on the wall. The photos of Haiti. The empty spaces where Emmanuel used to be. This was her life now. Alone. But not empty. Tired. But not broken. Changed. But not destroyed. She'd come to America with $47 and a dream. Lost everything. Gave everything. And somehow, against all odds, against all reason, she'd survived. Not because she was unbreakable. But because she'd learned to break and heal and break again. Because she'd learned that mercy was harder than revenge. That forgiveness was braver than hate. That staying soft in a world that tried to harden you was the most radical act of resistance. Grace walked to her window. Looked out at the city that had taken everything and given nothing back. Except this. The knowledge that she was enough. Had always been enough. Would always be enough. She didn't need Vivian's apology. Didn't need Marcus's regret. Didn't need Emmanuel's proximity. She had herself. And after 18 years of losing pieces, she was finally whole. Not healed. Not happy. Not even okay most days. But whole. And that was enough. Grace closed her eyes. Thought about her grandmother. About staying soft. About surviving. About the cost of mercy and the price of pride. And she realized something. She'd won. Not by destroying Vivian. Not by reclaiming Marcus. Not by keeping Emmanuel. She'd won by staying human. By choosing mercy when revenge would have been easier. By giving life when taking it would have been justified. She'd won by surviving. And that more than anything was her revenge. Because they'd tried to break her. All of them. This country. This city. This life. And she'd refused. She'd bent. She'd cracked. She'd bled. But she'd never broken. And she never would. Grace opened her eyes. The city lights sparkled below. A new day was coming. And Grace was still here. Still standing. Still fighting. Still alive. And that was everything.